Welcome back to Sorta Sophisticated, the podcast where sounding smart is actually more important than being smart. Let's go. I'm Pete and Amanda. Hi, Amanda.
Hello.
How are you? Folks, Amanda's Audi is on vacation this week, so she brought her Innie instead. So we're going to see how this goes. It's a little weird. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Why are we talking about my Audi?
Yeah, we're not talking Severance. Have you seen Severance?
Oh, I have not.
Severance season 2 just finished.
Oh.
It was amazing. You need to watch it.
Okay, I'll watch it to find out about
Your
my
Innie
Innie.
and Audi are separated and they don't understand each other.
Oh.
So when you come in the studio, imagine if you didn't know anything about your outside life.
Huh.
And then when you go outside the studio, imagine if you didn't know anything that occurred
weird.
inside. Yes.
Huh.
Right. So you're sort of like stuck in two different worlds.
Oh, weird.
Hey, I have a gift for you. Can we start with a gift? I got a gift.
Okay.
Can you open what I just put in front of you, please?
I guess I can.
Live
But
on
why'd you
air.
get me a gift?
Because it's fun and
Okay.
because it has to do with what we're talking about today.
Oh,
Yay!
goodness. Oh, goodness.
Because we're taking it back, Amanda. Like back, like far back. Like when America was just a little baby back. Baby back, baby back, baby back.
Outback?
Yes.
Oh, there's a quote.
There's a quote.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Peeky, peeky.
What does it
Okay,
say? What does it say?
Never let the truth get in the way of a good story, by Mark Twain.
That's it. Let's go. Mark Twain.
Is this how you're telling me that it's okay to be a level 7 liar?
No. I'm telling you, we are storytellers.
Never let the truth
Get in the way of a good story. We're
Yeah.
storytellers.
Which he can then embellish.
Yes.
Be a level
That is
7
my point.
Storyteller.
Right.
I
Mark
love it.
Twain,
Thank you.
the original storyteller. That's what we're talking about. The guy who brought us Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn and like the million quotes that get slapped on mugs and Instagram captions all the time. You know why I picked that quote, Amanda?
Yeah, because you're a level 7 liar and it resonated with you. Is that right?
That's exactly why
Oh,
I
really?
picked that quote. But he's not a 11-7 liar.
No, you are. That's
No.
why. It resonated with you.
You have this thing where you think like it's not all about lying. It's about engaging our audience.
Embellishing.
Yes. So it doesn't matter if we're on a 1 or a 7. If we're engaging, we have a good story to tell.
Okay, fair.
All right?
Okay, fair.
But also, do you know why we're talking about Mark Twain?
No. Is it because Tom Sawyer Island's on Disneyland?
Yeah, I wish.
No.
Right? Shout out to D-Land. No.
My brain's still on the previous
Next year, 150 years since he wrote Tom Sawyer. That's crazy,
Oh,
right?
that's a long time.
150
That's a
years,
A lot of time.
right?
Yeah.
I know.
But wait,
What?
you said next year.
I did say next year.
So why are we
Yes.
talking about it now?
Because I'm a child. That's why we're talking about it now. I'm just
No, you're
kidding.
prepping. You're getting ready. What are we getting ready for?
I'm a year in advance. I can't wait. I can't wait to open my Christmas present. No. So Ron Chernow, the same guy who wrote Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda's like Broadway musical Hamilton.
Yes.
So he wrote a book called Hamilton, right? He just published a new book on Mark Twain that just dropped 3 weeks ago.
Oh.
It's out.
Did you already order it? Are you going to read it?
I did, totally. Nearly 1,000 pages of
Oh.
glorious,
1,000?
sleep-inducing reading, to be exact.
Wow.
1,000 pages. Yes, I know, right?
That's a lot of pages.
Yeah. And
But also,
What?
side note,
yeah, what?
is Lin-Manuel also going to make this into a Broadway musical so I can
I don't know.
skip the 1,000 pages and get the short
No.
version?
Not even
No,
close.
okay.
No, right? 1,000 pages. It's going to be a lot to get through, but I'm going to get through it
a lot.
because I'm committed. Okay?
You are. If anyone can do it, it's going to be you. So
It's absolutely
There
going
you
to be me. I don't even know how it took us this long to do Mark Twain. We've talked about Mark Twain a lot, by the way. Like we've
How?
on
When?
our Truth About Lies episode. Totally, we talked about Mark Twain. Yes, that was a whole thing for sure. Because he was like cracking jokes.
It's like, I love how you remember that.
Yeah, he was a badass. Okay, quick background on Mark Twain, right? Like anything from politics, religion, death, debt. Mark Twain did all. Like the original comedian, literally the original comedian, right?
I don't think I've ever heard of Mark Twain being called a comedian.
No, because people thought he was an author, but he was seriously like life's super storyteller. Anything that made life complicated, he found a way to like poke fun at it and make it like he would have like honestly would have been the best person to do this. Literally this like podcast.
with? Okay.
Yes,
Huh.
that would have been our guy for sure.
So tell me.
Tell you what,
Why is he such your idol?
because I love him.
Oh, okay.
Because he's the ultimate storyteller.
Okay, fine.
Thus
So-
the
okay.
mug.
So then, dare I ask, why does learning about Mark Twain make us so cultured and curious?
Oh, you absolutely dare.
I don't know if I do.
Oh, you dare. You ask.
I did
Just
ask.
do it.
I did.
Okay, because his mustache was the best mustache ever. Okay.
Did he have a mustache? I mean, I guess everybody would be like.
He had the
150 years
biggest
had it,
white handlebar mustache ever.
Really?
Okay. Okay. No bullshit though. Okay. Enough about that. Okay. When I think about him, I think about the truth. I think about hypocrisy. I think about like, he made us laugh, Amanda. He made us squirm. He made us like do all the uncomfortable things all at the same time. He held a giant mirror to America's face and made us look at ourselves naked. And who doesn't want to look at yourself naked? I mean, let's be honest. I want to look at myself naked all the time.
Oh,
right?
Peter.
I have this problem. Yeah, I have a problem. I'm not going to lie. Sarcasm, skepticism, and all the jokes. I mean, it still helps us like read between the lines today, like with our own problems. Not even back then. Like, this guy's my idol. Never took himself too seriously, laughed all the time, and he helped people understand themselves and like the world around him, like at a little bit deeper level, just like sorta.
Just sort of.
Just sorta. Do you get my point?
I
Do you see why he should be sitting on the couch with us smoking dope?
I do.
Okay.
So just to make sure I got this straight, though, for
What?
today's episode, we're going to unpack Twain's legacy,
Oh, we're unpacking.
how he managed to be hilarious
Uh-huh.
and heavy all at the same time,
Oh, he was hilarious and
and
heavy.
maybe why he still matters, and what this new Chernow bio brings to the table.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Okay.
This is it.
Let's
We're
go.
bringing it all together. Let's go. Let's get into it, okay?
Well, before you do, you need
What?
to do word of the day first. I know.
Okay. Are you ready? I got one.
Okay.
Do you have one? Or can I
I
have one?
don't have one.
Okay.
I know nothing about this topic, and I don't have a word of the day.
Sometimes you throw
Welcome.
word of the days at me like really fast. Like, I got one today. Blah, blah, blah. All right. So today's word of the day is rebarbative.
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 To rebarb someone
Rebarb.
as an adjective.
Yes. Yes. Rebarbative is an adjective. Good for
Oh,
you.
thanks.
Your Latin
Thanks.
is working. It means something that's off-putting, unpleasant, or just kind of ugly.
Huh.
Yes.
Should I say it?
Say what? Be nice. What are you talking about?
I mean, you're the one who picked the word. I just can't help it.
You can't help what?
It just fits you so perfectly.
Oh, and there
Brava,
it
brava.
is. Da-dun-da. I knew that was coming. Okay, I need to start checking definitions before I
No.
pick words.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I like it better this way.
Okay, wait, I have a question. Am I off-putting, unpleasant, or kind of ugly? Which one is it? Or all three?
So is it A, B, C, or D? D
Yeah,
is all of the above?
okay, I hate you very
Okay.
much.
Just kidding.
Can we start now?
I joke, yes.
Okay.
But you're going to work it in. So.
I'm not. It sounds like you just already worked it in.
Oh,
You're,
okay.
you're
So we
basically going to
checked
find
it?
a way
We
to
checked it? I get the
Right.
dollar? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Great.
Yeah, this is not fair, but okay, fine. Rebarbative people. Don't let
So.
me get off the hook. Okay.
History time?
History time. Let's go. We're rolling it back to the beginning.
How far is the beginning?
1835.
Oh.
Mark Twain.
That is quite a ways to go.
That is quite a ways. That is quite a ways ago, baby. Born in a place called Florida, Missouri. Yeah, I don't know. That's even. Is that real? Like Florida.
Missouri.
I looked it up. Trust me, it's
Is
Florida.
it a thing?
Missouri.
Oh, literally
is.
going to go Google it.
No, it's
Oh,
real.
okay,
Yeah. Okay.
okay.
Fun fact: he wasn't even born Mark Twain. His birth name was actually Samuel Langhorne Clemens. How do you like that? He was number 6 out of 7 from like kid's standpoint. Like
Yep.
he was right. Okay. And grew up in a place called Hannibal, Missouri, about 30 miles southwest of Florida. Not like Florida, of course, but the town of Florida in Missouri. Yeah, super easy.
All very
I know.
confusing
Yes,
already. Okay.
Hannibal was right on the banks of the famous Mississippi River that, of course, would later inspire both Tom Sawyer and Huck
Oh.
Finn. Let's go.
That kind of makes a little sense.
It does, right?
But I have questions already.
Yeah, of course you do.
I know.
You always have questions.
I do.
And I sort of have answers.
Great. So we're going to start just with like the name change. Like, is it just his stage name? Was he just not feeling the Samuel? Why change?
Why change?
Yeah.
Would you want to be called Samuel Langhorne Clemens?
I mean,
I wouldn't.
back in the 1835,
No,
sure.
It sounds like somebody who gets murdered. Like
No,
no, yes. And sorry, the body
but
we found was
seriously.
one of Samuel Langhorne Clemens. We pulled him out of the Mississippi River. Okay.
Seriously,
Actually, okay. So before he was an author, he had a bunch of different jobs. Do you remember the episode we did on Ben Franklin?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Like,
One of my favorites.
yeah, he had all the jobs,
Yes,
right?
He did all the
so
things.
Samuel Langhorne Clemens basically did all the things too. Printer's apprentice,
Oh,
ring a bell.
okay.
Typesetter, riverboat pilot, a soldier. Thank you very much for about 5 minutes. A gold prospect. Well, I say, and a journalist. Okay.
Yeah, so he was quite the jack of all trades.
Yeah. You know what he was?
But a master of none.
Polymath.
He was a polymath.
Bum, bum,
Yes, that's a good one. That's a good
Right.
one.
It was totally. Okay.
But then why did he actually change his name? Or maybe even easier, when did he actually
Right.
change his name?
Let's get sophisticated. Can I get sophisticated for a
Yes,
second?
absolutely.
Okay, fine. So he actually never legally changed it.
So it's just a stage name then.
It is, absolutely. So it was common back in the 1800s for aspiring journalists, the last job he had, to have pen names because it gave them room to like be bold, right? Like more controversial.
Yeah, your
without
pseudonym.
dragging
Yeah.
without dragging their real name or respectable name into this whole thing. Right.
Okay.
Okay. So Samuel picks Mark Twain around 1863 when he started working out west, like when he left Florida, Missouri and came to Arizona, California. Just kidding. I have no idea, but you get right. Well, he starts writing for newspapers and stuff. Like, so he starts working out west and like needs to come up with a name. Yeah.
But
for
like,
sure.
was he inspired by like what brought about Mark Twain?
Okay, this is wild. Okay, so the name Samuel Clemens doesn't really like scream like frontiersman, right? Like,
I mean,
and that
Samuel
was the whole
Clemens,
thing.
maybe.
I don't know.
Okay, fine.
Mark Twain, on the other hand, sort of gives the whole like river rat, social critic, like stand-up
Mark
comic
Twain.
vibe. Yeah, right. Mark Twain.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
thank
okay.
you. Yeah, see, even the way you just said it makes sense. Okay, so if you think about it, he was like branding himself like a badass mofo, like before that was even a thing. Fun fact: the phrase Mark Twain, it's a phrase. It actually meant something to riverboat captains back in the day.
So there was some method to his madness, but
Oh, totally. Oh,
what did it mean?
yeah. Okay. So it was actually a measurement for 2 fathoms deep. A fathom is 6 feet. So 2 fathoms deep is 12 feet. I know. Super sophisticated. I told you I was going to get sophisticated, right? Which means a safe depth for riverboats to keep going forward on the Mississippi. So it's like the steamboat version of saying like, we're good, keep going.
Okay.
Okay.
But I don't really get it.
Okay. Okay. So the riverboat guy in
So
charge
they would
of
just yell Mark Twain?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
So the riverboat guy in front of the boat. I think he was called like a leadsman or I don't know.
Okay.
The front boat guy
Sure.
back then. He would scream, Mark Twain. Absolutely. If the river depth was at least 12 feet, so the captain knew that he could keep going.
But how did the name become used from measurement?
Like how did Mark like
the phrase Mark
okay,
Twain.
okay. So it makes sense.
I don't know, it's
believe
like
it
a
or
name.
not. No, it's not. You think it's a name.
Mark is a name?
No,
Oh,
Mark.
Mark, like a Mark.
Mark is a measurement.
Mm,
Mark is
I
a
see,
measurement,
I see,
not
I
the
see.
name. And then Twain was the old English word for 2. In this case, 2 fathoms deep. Makes sense? Mark Twain. It wasn't ever a name.
That's wild.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
No,
is that the
that
fun
doesn't make
fact of
sense.
all fun facts?
I guess it is.
Right. It's the
It
best.
really is.
So then this guy's like, yeah, like I'm gonna go Mark Twain. Yeah.
Well, okay, so I guess I kind of get the whole name change.
Right.
I get where it came
Right,
from.
that
I
was a
understand
whole-
the
that was a
history
whole
of
thing.
it,
Right.
but it's great because that is the best fun fact.
It is.
'Cause people know Mark Twain, but they have no clue.
No.
That
Where it
that's
came
what
from?
was.
It's actual
I mean,
Samuel Foghorn Leghorn. Do you remember Foghorn Leghorn? Well, I say
no.
from the old like 80s. Like, okay, sorry.
So he changed his name, so he was a little bit more frontiersy.
Yes.
But was he like hiding who he was because he wanted to hide like his writing? He didn't want people to know it was from him, kind of like the Ben Franklin and Silence Dogood, or
Oh,
Was
oh
it
no,
just-
no, no, no. I like where you were going with that. No, people knew who he was already. Like he wasn't like hiding anything. It was more about creating a voice that sort of like quote unquote fit the stories he wanted to tell.
he was creating a character?
Yes.
Okay.
Think about it, right? He
Okay,
was trying
okay.
to navigate like some messy shit, like some dangerous social stuff for the time for sure. But he was also doing it, like I said at the beginning, with like sarcasm and comedy. So people didn't realize it so clearly. And this Mark Twain persona sort of fit what he was trying to do.
Okay, so kind of like Shakespeare. And
Oh,
how he used
exactly
to
like
write the
Shakespeare.
plays.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then how did he get famous? Like, was he famous before he died? Because I feel like everyone has to be dead before they're famous.
Oh my God.
Was he
No,
actually?
this is the
He
first
wasn't.
This is the first person
Okay.
who got famous
All right.
before he died.
Okay. Well,
Like-
I need a little bit more detail. than
Yeah,
that.
right. Like he got
How did
famous.
he become famous?
Like in his lifetime, he was famous. This goes against all of our things that we were thinking.
But he was famous as Mark Twain, not as Samuel Clemens.
What? Who gives a shit? It doesn't
Okay,
even matter.
okay.
Yes, he got famous.
It kinda
He made a lot of
does.
money. Then he lost a lot of money. Then he
Oh.
made a lot of money. Then lost a lot of money.
All right.
And he did it over and over again about 100 times. Yeah.
Really? Are you going to take us down this journey?
I'm gonna get there.
Okay.
But we got to do childhood shit first. Okay. So his dad, John Marshall Clemens, a lawyer by the way, and then subsequently a judge. Okay, think like smart, stern John Marshall Clemens, dies when Samuel was only 11 years old. So he has to leave school and start working to help his mom and his bros and sisters, right? And his mom, Jane Clemens, you gotta love Jane, right? Was kind of like polar opposite of dad. So funny, like super expressive, like the funny part, right? So Twain always said, and I quote, "She had a sharp wit and a big heart." And a lot of his humor and storytelling instincts probably came from her. Who are we kidding? So smarts from dad, wit from mom. He grew up scrappy. He was like, he's out on the streets of like wherever, what was it? Florida, Missouri. Like 1850. Like he was a badass. Okay. So he starts working as a printer's apprentice, right? Like competing with good old Ben Franklin to pay some bills, basically setting type for newspapers while slowly learning, of course, how storytelling works. Then he starts bouncing around. First New York, then Philadelphia, then St. Louis, working as a typesetter and occasionally writing little sketches. Like think of the like OG Saturday Night Live. Like this guy's doing Saturday Night Live in like 1855, okay? But he didn't really like find his thing till like the early 20s when he trained to become, Amanda, a riverboat pilot on the Mississippi River.
Are you telling me that was the first job he actually liked?
Oh, he loved it. Like who wouldn't want to be a riverboat pilot? He's like 20 years old, right? Like adventurous, making money, doing what he loves. Why not, right?
I mean, is that kind of when he figured out the Mark Twain thing? Or was he Mark Twain before that?
No, that is exactly when he figured it out.
It all comes together.
Yeah, he just parked it in the back of his brain somewhere. But then, so the Civil War starts in 1861, and basically that shuts down riverboat traffic, like immediately. Like think COVID, right? Same thing. Civil War, done. Nothing going up and down the Mississippi. And here's where things go off the rails. So next, he like briefly joins the Confederate militia. Not because he was super committed to the army or anything, but because everyone was picking sides and he didn't want to be left out. So he lasted about 2 weeks before realizing like he wasn't a war guy. Like he wasn't a soldier.
Are you just allowed to leave? Like you're allowed to just peace out of the Confederacy? I feel like that's abandonment or something, or like you get like strung up by your thumbs.
I think so. I kind of think you're right there. He abandoned his post. No, so I had to look that up. So he never actually joined what's called the Confederate Army. He joined the voluntary militia and then figured out he wasn't interested in fighting a war. So he made love, not war. You know what I mean? That kind of guy. Yeah. So he goes out west and starts mining silver in Nevada.
That is not being a riverboat pilot.
No, because he doesn't care. He's just popping around.
Okay.
He's just like wherever it takes him. Right. By the way, in Nevada, he didn't find any silver. Yeah, spoiler. But he did land a side hustle and started writing funny columns for something called the Territorial Enterprise, a newspaper in Virginia City.
He wrote in Nevada?
Nevada, Virginia City, Nevada. I know it's very complicated.
I'm so confused.
It's hysterical, right? Oh my God. And that's kind of where like writing all started for him.
Okay, so he like failed at everything else and became a writer.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like it's the trope.
Did he really fail at everything else, or was he just experiencing life, Amanda?
Fair.
Right?
Fair.
Okay.
He was living and figuring it out.
So the mining career bombs. His military thing was like sort of an afterthought. Burned through like 3 different jobs in 6 years. You're absolutely right. And then by the time he's 30, he's building his brand. Part river rat, part philosopher, and part smart ass.
And evidently it worked.
It totally worked. It set the stage for his first major story. The Jumping Frog of Calaveras County. Do you remember this thing?
I've never heard of this.
The book that totally made him famous. You didn't read this? Yes, in middle school you did.
No, I'm going to look up this picture.
Oh my God. Please look it up. You totally read it. Everybody did. It's basically a story about a gambler, a con man, and like a really competitive frog. And it totally blew up. People love this. So he kept going. He writes his next book, that mattered anyway, called The Innocents Abroad. Another huge hit, basically entitled Americans Traveling Through Europe and Trying to Be Cultured. Again, should have been on our podcast. Thank you very much. He could have literally done the France episode.
He would have been perfect.
Yes.
Would have been perfect.
Did you look it up? Did you find Calaveras?
I did. I don't think I've read that.
You did? Yes, you did. Amanda.
I don't think so.
Oh my God.
So.
Okay, can you do me a favor?
Yep.
Can you please read it to your children?
Okay.
As a homeschool project?
Okay, fine. I'll read it to them. But, I mean, they've already read Tom Sawyer. So
They did?
When did he
Your children have read Tom Sawyer?
Yeah, it was on the reading list. But when does that happen? Like, I thought that those are his like claimed fames. Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn.
No. So he got famous before them, but then of course he even goes bigger. I told you, he got famous. Like while he was alive. This is no bullshit, right? So 10 years later, so we go to 1876. That's when Tom Sawyer was published. And that's the reason we're basically celebrating the 150th anniversary next year. Fun fact. Do we want to get technical? Can I get technical with my fun fact, please?
Sure.
Okay. He actually finished writing it in 1875. So technically you'd say that like this year.
But when was it published?
I don't know. I was trying to fun fact this to make it sound like we were sophisticated enough to say this was 150th year. Because he wrote it this year.
No.
He published it next year. Okay. I just reread it actually. Super fun book about this kid growing up on the Mississippi who gets like in a bunch of trouble. Basically exactly how Samuel Langhorne Clemens grew up. Gets into fights, fakes his own death, finds some buried treasure, and then somehow convinces his friends to paint a fence for him. Totally fun. Please, everybody read it. Highly suggested. I would put it on my top 100 list of books you have to read before you die. For
Really?
Sure.
Huh.
You wouldn't? Yes, you would.
I don't know.
What?
I've never actually given thought to my top 100 books that I read.
You have not?
No.
Amanda Houston.
Who does that?
Clearly
you.
Not only do I have a list, I've read 71 of them. I'm far through the list. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm going to keep going. 10 years later, in 1885, he publishes The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. And that, Amanda, was the moment that changed American literature forever. Okay. It's one of the first novels ever that was written in entirely what you would call the vernacular, which is basically what we how we talk on our podcast. We just riff, right? Not using big literature or big words of the day or anything like that, right? This was genius for the time. He used the character of Huck to disguise talking about all the shit that mattered in society back then, like race and slavery, freedom, shit nobody else was doing at the time because they were too scared to do it. It was way darker. Your kids have not read this yet, right?
No, not
okay.
No,
no. I do not suggest it. It's super raw. It's funny AF, but totally uncomfortable. I would not have them read it till they're a little bit older.
Is this one of the books that gets banned by schools?
Oh, all the time.
Really?
Right. Yes.
Why?
Which, if you think about it, might be the most Mark Twain thing ever, right? That's exactly what he would want. He would love the controversy. It says the N-word 200 times. Oh, a lot. Yes. And nobody knows how to deal with it anymore today. And that's what makes it so awesome. He had this weird and kind of excellent way, in my opinion, of shoving shit in the face of society in a way that somehow made it acceptable to talk about, and people didn't know what was hitting them. Super genius. Honestly, Amanda, I don't know if you really know everything behind the idea of this podcast, but that was what it was born from. It was born from Mark Twain being so smart alecky, but really smart about what he was saying. And that's why I wanted to
knowing what
do
he's saying, but doing it in a funny way.
In a funny way that was very thoughtful. Yes, absolutely.
So he was a great writer, but was he like Edgar Allan Poe, where his life was a mess outside of his writing?
Yeah, is the Pope Catholic? Yes, of course.
I just feel the creative ones,
yes.
right?
100%.
The ones who have chaotic lives.
Yes.
So why was his life so chaotic?
Out of control, right?
Did he marry his young cousin?
No, he didn't do anything stupid.
Okay, checking.
Oh my God, we gotta go. I love the Edgar Allan Poe episode. Okay, no, because he just made a shit ton of money and then lost it, and then made money and lost it. Over
but how does he lose money?
Yes, because he was dumb.
Gambling?
Yeah, he was way more than
Hookers and blow?
Absolutely. Right? Amen. Right? Again, my idol. No, because remember the whole idea, he was a polymath, right?
Yes.
So he was an inventor. He wasn't just a writer. So what he would do is he'd make a shit ton of money writing, but then he would come up with a new idea and then want to start a new business. The business would flop. He would subsequently lose all the money. Then he would have to write it over and over nonstop. It was actually crazy because the fact he was smart enough to I'll just write another book and make $1 million and do this all over again. That's what was amazing about Mark Twain.
And that's not why he became famous. Because he was awful at every other thing. No. He became famous because of his writing.
Yes, absolutely.
And before he died.
Yes. Massive celebrity. Amanda, he hung out with presidents of the United States. Multiple presidents with S, right? He used to get invited to dinners with the German Kaiser, the Australian Emperor. I don't even know who these people are. The Prince of Wales. He got an honorary degree from Oxford University and would regularly have tea at Windsor Castle with the king and queen. He knew people. Don't ask me, by the way, who the king and queen were in 1850. I have no friggin' idea.
No clue.
Queen Elizabeth, somebody, and King George the Fifth or Fourth or Third or whatever it was. I don't know, but he knew people.
So he was popular.
Oh my God, like Ariana Grande, popular. Okay, yes, he was.
And he hung out with all the famous people.
He did, yes.
But was that because of his writing? Everyone just idolized him?
No, it was because of his comedy. That's the thing, right? Think about it. Okay, people didn't take him very seriously as the philosopher and the thinker. A lot of people weren't as sharp. Remember Shakespeare? You said you were asking me it's kind of like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. So a lot of people just thought he was funny. And so they missed the whole fact on the social commentary of life. So we were oh my God, I just love him. He's so funny. He's so quirky. He's just and they didn't get the smack in the face part. And that's what was awesome about him is he was an under the radar guy. And so people appreciated his humor without quite understanding everything that Mark Twain was.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
I know.
But how long was he famous for? Because he started in his 30s.
Mhm.
So I'd assume until he died,
Until he died.
which was
1910.
So he was about 75.
75.
Huh.
Well, I hate you when you do the math thing on me. It makes me feel
It's my only
incapable.
cool gift.
I know. It's actually an awesome gift. Yes. Fun fact. You ready for a fun fact?
Okay.
Well, not like fun facts, but a fun fact.
Okay.
Okay. So he was born the year Halley's Comet came. Do you know Halley's Comet?
I mean,
Like that comet
yes,
that comes.
uh-huh.
Okay. You've heard of Halley's Comet. And he always said he was born in the same year Halley's Comet came through.
Okay.
Yes. In whatever it was, 1835. He always said that he would go out with Halley's Comet too.
That's crazy.
Amanda, check this out as luck would have it. In 1910, the day after he died, Halley's Comet came back.
That's crazy.
It has not been back since.
What?
Okay.
Since
Get-
1910?
Since 1910. Guess the next time it's going to come back.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Next time it's going to be closest to Earth, 2061.
Wow.
It's been here, Amanda, twice. That's it. The day he was born and the day/day after he died, never been back again. And he predicted it.
Talk about poetic timing.
It's the weirdest thing ever,
It's
right?
like he just like mic dropped his own life story.
It's
It's crazy.
it's kind of nuts. Like I don't think there's another human being on Earth that could say that. I really don't.
That's true.
Yeah.
I
I
would
know.
agree.
That's Mark Twain. Thank you very much.
All right, we get on the history, or we're going to start talking about
I've
his book and
I've
stuff?
bored myself to death with history. What is next?
Well, let's talk about the book.
Oh shit, let's go. Yeah, Ron Chernow. Okay, I'm ready. Full disclosure, it was just released, and I haven't read it yet or anything. You have not read it, of course. Why would I even ask
I would
you?
not have.
I just
Yep.
let me ask formally. Have you read the book, Amanda?
I have not.
No. Thank you very much. Okay.
Remember?
Right.
I'm
Right,
waiting for it
because
to
why
come
would
out
you
as
read
as
1,000
as a
right.
Broadway show?
Right. As a mother and a business owner and a podcast host, yeah, sure, Amanda. Just go ahead and read the 1,000-page book.
I don't know how you do it all, but
Yeah,
you do a
I
good
don't
job
because
at
I don't
that,
have
so.
to do as many things.
Unless
as
it's
you.
audiobook. I can audiobook
Okay,
it, but
let's audiobook that shit. Okay.
I do want a sweatshirt that says I'm in my audiobook era.
I've been in
Note
my
self.
audiobook era for 10 years.
Really?
Oh,
it's like amazing. Why
Amanda,
didn't you
I'm crazy.
share this?
I'm crazy about it.
Oh,
I read
so
like
good.
50 books a year.
It's
throughout.
so good.
That's all I read back and forth,
Yeah.
like from work.
Huh.
Yeah, all the time.
It's genius.
Okay, but let's be clear here. We like looked up enough shit online to like make sure like we read all the reviews. Like we can give you a sort of sophisticated review on this whole thing. Am I right? Can we do
Cliff
this?
note it. Yes, let's go.
Okay, fine. Okay, so Chernow, remember like from the beginning, he's the guy who wrote Hamilton, which made Lin-Manuel Miranda totally rich. Also, by the way, Amanda, very rebarbative, if I may say so. May I say that?
Well played.
Thank you, man.
Well
Thank you
played.
very much. I added
Well
it. Okay,
played.
even though you got it first. He just finished his newest book on Mark Twain. Thank you. It's getting buzz. People, we're getting buzz.
But is it good buzz or bad buzz?
It's good buzz.
Because
It's good.
buzz is not always good.
Is there a thing called bad buzz?
Yeah.
Who gets bad buzz?
I mean, they always say.
Well,
what-
I've had
what
a
is that?
bad. Amanda, I'm gonna.
That's
I had a
true,
bad
bad
buzz.
buzz, yeah.
I had a bad buzz the other day. I'm like, what?
I mean, I know they say all press is good press. You know,
Yeah, that's
bad
press.
press is still good press. Whatever.
That's sure no, baby.
But
He's got good press.
okay,
He does.
all right.
He's written a lot of good. He's famous.
I mean,
Chernow's been famous in his lifetime. You know what I mean? We should. You know what? We should do a podcast episode on Ron
Oh, we
Chernow.
should?
Okay. Yeah. So he does a good job. He leans into like the good and the bad parts. He doesn't just do the like, oh, super clever guy in Woody White suit version, right? Like, no bullshit. Like, he like. Let me quote a reviewer online. He goes deep into Twain's grief, the debts, the failed inventions, the broken relationships, deaths of family, and somehow still shows how Twain used humor to survive it all. My idol. Oh shit! I totally forgot to talk about his kids. Didn't I? I didn't talk about his kids yet.
you did not.
I did not.
I didn't even realize. I didn't like to ask if he had
Oh,
kids.
bad shit happened.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Amanda, this guy was like plagued. This is like, oh, we're
So
going.
again, it's
we're
like
going Edgar Allan Poe.
every person
Yes.
has a little.
No,
bit
listen
of
to this.
like,
You're no. This is going to one up everything. Are you ready
Okay,
for this?
ready.
Okay. So first, his only son Langdon died of diphtheria when he was 19.
diphtheria.
Diphtheria.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. You have
All
to
right.
look it up.
I'll
I don't
look
know.
it
It's
up.
some shit. Some airborne illness. I don't know. He gets diphtheria. It's like COVID. Okay. 19 months old. And I guess like Twain blamed himself his whole life because I was researching this. I found that apparently Twain didn't like bundle him up on a carriage ride when he was like cold outside one morning before he got sick. And he totally thought that was the reason his son died. Like, it's terrible. That like stuck with him his whole life.
I mean, it's a serious bacterial infection that usually affects the mucous membranes of the nose and throat. So I don't think it was because he didn't bundle him up.
Well, thank you very much.
Bacterial.
Thank you, Dr. Houston.
Yep,
I really
okay.
appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But we're back in 18, whatever, 60,
Yes,
70,
yes,
I don't
yes,
know, 80,
yes,
I don't
yes.
know. Okay, so then, check this, 20 years later. Second child, Susie, dies from meningitis when she's only 24 years old.
Oh.
Right. So I'm not done. Then 8 years later, his wife Livy dies of heart failure, which apparently she had been battling for a few years. And finally, if that's not enough, 5 years later, his baby, Jean, who was epileptic, I guess, died by drowning in a bathtub from a seizure when she was 29. So he was just, yeah.
Did he have any kids that grew up?
One grown child, Clara. Yes.
I mean, they were all grown, but did anyone get over 30?
No, nobody got over 30. 4 kids. Only one lived past the age of 29 years old. Didn't really matter because he dies of a heart attack 4 months later.
What?
Yes. Done and done. Clara was the only one who lived till she was 90 or something, till the late 1960s. Another 50 years. Right. So he has to bury 3 of his children, his wife, and after that, he dies 4 months later and Clara's alone.
And they talk about all this in the book, the new book.
Yeah, they do. Absolutely.
Wow.
Everything. That's what I'm saying. Chernow goes super deep.
I mean, I will say in Hamilton, you get more of Hamilton's personal life, whether it's fictitious or not, but it's, I think, what draws you into the person and want to learn more about them.
Okay. I don't want anybody not to read Ron Chernow's book on Hamilton, but I read it, Amanda. It's a snooze fest.
Oh, no.
It's amazing. It's amazing that Lin-Manuel Miranda read what I read.
And was able to come out
and
with
was
it.
able to come out with what he did. No, because I read it, and I, you know me, I'm a lover of history.
You are.
And it was hard to get through. This is one of the critiques of Chernow, right? Some people are saying it's way too detailed. It's too hard to get through, to cut to the humor parts and the best part of Twain, because he goes into way too much historical context. This writer, I love him, but he is not for everyone.
Okay.
So you have to know what you're signing up for.
So I should not read it.
No, full disclosure. If you're a history buff like I am, you are going to read it. If you're not, then don't.
Nope.
And just listen to our podcast, and that's enough information.
Great.
Yeah. Oh no. Absolutely.
Check.
Yeah. If you're looking for witty one-liners, yeah, stay away. They're not in here. This is full mess, full crazy Mark Twain, man behind the mustache. 992 pages of glory.
But is there
seriously.
anything new that he uncovers about Mark Twain, or is there just another version of his life? Retelling of what he read.
Again, I didn't read it yet. I absolutely am going to, because I am a lover of history. But I would say he added the whole angle about how nobody really quite understood how ahead of the time Mark Twain really was. Let me quote something that I read online. This book connects Twain's work to today's culture wars, to our obsession with celebrity, and to our cancel culture. He frames Twain not just as a writer, but as a brand who wrestled with being both adored and totally misunderstood. Yeah, so this idea of the depth of Mark Twain, I think, is what's new. Nobody really has covered that in any previous book that's been written for him.
So you're saying it took 150 years until Ron Chernow has come along just to make sense of Mark Twain?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh. So to be clear, are we recommending this or not?
No, only if you want to poke your eyes out.
That's what I thought.
Right.
What I thought.
No, it's a slow burn. How about this, Amanda? If we have sophisticated people that are listening to our podcast, yes, I'm recommending it. Read it. If we have the Sorta people, then no, I'm not recommending it. How's that? Okay.
Understood.
I have another fun fact.
Yes, of course. Okay. My favorite.
Chernow said he picked to write about Twain after all these years because after writing about so many presidents for so long, he wanted to write about someone who shaped American culture without actually ever holding power. So someone who shaped culture but didn't have the power, because he wrote about Washington, Jefferson, Hamilton, right? He wrote about all these super famous people. So Twain was the first one where he's like, no, I'm tackling this from a different angle, which I thought was super cool.
Huh. So he picks a guy who handled his politics with a pen instead of actual power.
Totally, right? The original influencer, Amanda, of course, minus the ring light for all this TikTok generation. Totally.
So since Chernow didn't quote Mark Twain at all, what if we did a little bit of famous quotes by Mark Twain?
I love the idea of doing famous quotes. That's the best part of Mark Twain. King of one-liners.
Well, I just Googled top 5
You did?
quotes. Yeah, because
wait, did you Google them or did you chat GPT?
Oh, sorry.
Which one did you do?
I Googled.
You still Google? Oh my God!
I know. I'm so behind in the
You're
times.
aging
I'm
yourself,
so behind.
Amanda.
But I mean now, Google now has the AI thing at the top.
Go with the first one.
So
I want to hear
maybe it's some sort of AI. Okay, ready? It says his most famous one, and I quote, "The reports of my death are greatly exaggerated." And apparently, he said this in response to a newspaper report that published that he had actually died, but of course, he had not.
I think that's my most favorite quote that he ever made. Right? That's how he got famous. Seriously. I love this guy.
I love how you already know that.
I know all of his quotes. Like I know every one of.
Oh yeah. Okay. Fine. Challenge accepted. Number 2.
By the way, just so you know, I'm a total Twainie.
Are you really?
TM. Thank you very much. We're TMing that shit. Twainie.
Okay.
Wait, is that like what?
Twanger.
A Swifter? A Swifter? I'm a Twainer. I'm a Twainer. I said Twainie. I like Twainer better. We'll go with Twainer. Twainer TM. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Number 2. Give me another one.
Okay. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect.
Oh,
Brilliant.
Yes, I know.
I mean, I feel like that's really relevant today with everything that's been going on. Like, we're just such a divisive world right now.
We are.
And this quote, chef kiss, pause.
You just chef kissed that shit?
I did. Everyone just like a good, solid reminder to like pause and think about why you think the way you think, and then maybe consider changing your perspective or being open to a difference of opinion.
Can we do something crazy?
What?
Can you figure out how to AI Mark Twain's voice into this podcast?
Oh, that's funny.
And he would be like
Overlay
a
it?
third. Yes, he'd be like a guest host. It would be.
I mean, we probably could.
Incredible. Like, Amanda, I have excellent ideas. I also have an ego problem. I understand, but like, why can't we figure that out? Let's figure that out, please. Thank you very much.
Bring Mark Twain back from the dead. And
Yes,
him.
just I am into this. Okay, go number 3.
Okay, number 3. I have never let my schooling interfere with my education.
Yes.
Do you get it? Because he's a polymath.
Of course I get it. Yes, he's a polymath.
No, his whole life. It's always about learning, failing, trying again.
He was a little rebarbative. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah, just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's 2 for me. Thank you.
Yeah, look at that.
Okay.
Okay. These are pretty good quotes. I'm
They're excellent.
not mad about it.
Yeah, you shouldn't be.
Oh,
Okay.
This one's even better.
What?
Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience.
That's why I never argue with you.
Wow, did you just call me stupid?
Okay.
Wow.
Proud
Wow.
of
I
myself.
feel like...
Yay. Right? But that's why I'm so kind-hearted to you all the time.
Oh, so
Okay.
kind-hearted,
Mhm.
clearly.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
He was very ahead of his time.
He really was.
Okay. So you've heard of all these so far, is
Yes.
what I'm hearing.
So far. All of them.
A real Twainer.
4 out of
It's
4.
true. It's true.
Yes.
Okay, so then I'm
A
just going to
Twain.
try to...
Twain. I love that
We'll do a
shit.
Twainer.
A Twainer.
Okay, I'm scrolling because I want to
Yeah,
find a
okay.
random one.
Okay, go.
So this is not top 5, but you know.
Wait, how many more do we got? Like,
one
is this
more,
your
one
last?
more,
Okay,
one
okay, go ahead.
Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities.
Oh shit, I don't know that one.
You really don't?
No, I haven't heard that one. Wait, what is that again? Say it
Got
again. Say it
you.
again. What is it?
Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities.
No, wait, what does that mean?
I think it means that the real life is way weirder than anything we could possibly make up. And especially, have you been watching the news lately?
Oh shit. Right. You know what I love?
What?
I love the fact that 150 years later, like every one of these quotes still hits.
That is
like,
true. I think we
absolutely,
yeah.
right? Guy's been dead over 100 years, and he's still all over TikTok captions. Amanda, this is nuts. You got any bonus ones, or can we just do fun facts? I'm ready.
I think you do fun fact.
Fun
You know,
fact.
that's my favorite part of the episode. So
because
let's go.
honestly, how many did you go? There's probably like 50 of these.
there's a ton of
Yeah, I know,
Mark
exactly.
Twain quotes.
Yeah,
So
okay.
tell me the fun facts.
Fun fact, fun fact. Can we please finally start with a tune on fun facts?
Okay.
Get ready to memorize. Number 1. Did you know he was like best friends with Nikola Tesla?
What? Like the Tesla?
Yeah, no, not like Elon Musk Tesla.
No, like
Nikola
the Tesla.
Yes,
Yeah.
like radio electricity Tesla.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, check this. He used to hang out in Tesla's lab all the time, and he posed for early experimental photos where they were trying like new chemicals, longer exposure times, and early forms of X-ray technology. Amanda, Mark Twain was Tesla's muse. They were like taking photos of each. I wonder if they were gay lovers. Do you think they were gay lovers?
No.
Controversy. Let's
No.
go. You know they had the great radio controversy?
Stop
we have
starting
the great gay
rumors.
lover controversy. Okay,
No.
sorry. All right. I love you, Mark Twain and Nikola Tesla. Okay. Number 2. I said number 2. I make myself laugh because I'm 12 years old still. Okay. He wore white suits year round.
White suits?
Yes. White suits on
What?
purpose. Yeah.
I have to look him up.
You
Like,
do
I've
have to-
never
How
seen
do
a
you
picture
not
of
know
him.
that? Yes. That's his brand. Like literally the white mustache and the white suit. He turned himself into a brand before branding was
He
a
looks
thing.
like Einstein or
Yeah.
Ben Franklin.
Badass mofo. Not even close to. He had hair. He had
Lots of hair.
Ben
Not
Franklin
even
didn't have any
fake hair?
hair. No, that was real.
He
Badass
looks like
hair.
a wig.
No, he was getting all the ladies. Okay, number 3, Amanda. He was a terrible investor.
You said he lost a lot of money, so that tracks.
Check this. He passed on participating in the invention of the friggin' telephone. Like Alexander Graham Bell calls. Well, I guess Alexander Graham Bell couldn't call him. That's hysterical. Came over to his house, talked to him, said, "I have this invention for a telephone. Do you want to invest?" He says, "No, I think it's
Out
a gimmick."
of all the things?
Yeah. No, that's a gimmick. We're not doing that.
That's funny.
So, yeah, he lost. Okay. He also
Joke's on him.
He also
But I'm
patented 3 inventions.
What were
something,
they?
yeah, something called the page typesetting machine, which was obsolete before it worked. A self-pasting scrapbook, whatever the hell that is, but I actually made money on that one. And an adjustable garment strap for suspenders. I guess before then they were just straps. They couldn't adjust. Why would go
Did
to
he make money on the adjustable suspenders? 'Cause I feel like they're everywhere.
Again, made some on
okay.
different, right. Those were the good ones. But like for every invention he made money on, he lost like a gazillion dollars on everything he, made bad decisions on. Lost all his money on a food preservation company he tried to establish, on something called Plasmon, a powdered food supplement made from skim milk that he thought would alleviate world hunger.
Huh.
So good idea, didn't work, lost it all,
Not
then
a
had to go
practice.
write like Huckleberry Finn to make his money back. So honestly, Amanda, massive ball sack. Like just went all in on everything when he wanted to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
crazy.
How about this one? He published President Ulysses S. Grant's memoirs after his presidency. So apparently, I didn't know this. After Grant was president, he was broke and dying. Okay. Twain offered to publish his autobiography. And as a result, it earned Grant's family enough money to live on for the rest of their life after he died.
Wow. Yeah.
Go Samuel
Yeah.
Langhorne Clemens. Mr. Patriotic, saving the man that ran our country, Ulysses S. Grant, like general of the Northern Armies. Number 5, he was obsessed with cats.
Why cats?
I don't know. He had 19 cats.
Huh.
Gave
That's a
them
lot of
names.
cats.
Yeah, Beelzebub and Sour Matt. By the way, Beelzebub, wasn't that like one of the devils? Like if you read the Bible, Beelzebub, I think it was. Yeah, Google that shit. I quote, "If a man could be crossed with a cat."
It's another name for Satan.
Thank you very much. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
He represents gluttony.
Beelzebub?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Fun fact.
I guess that's
Okay, there
I
you
guess
go.
that's my devil.
Oh, man.
Because I'm a fat mofo.
No, you're not.
Okay, we're going to try this. Again, his quote, "If man could be crossed with a cat, it would improve man, but deteriorate the cat." Yeah, that's how much he loved cats,
Huh.
right?
Nope.
Obviously not a dog guy. Okay, number 6, he couldn't stand Jane Austen. Like Jane Austen, like the famous writer of Pride and Prejudice and Jane Eyre, right? He once said, Amanda, I quote, "Every time I read Pride and Prejudice, I want to dig her up and beat her over the skull with her own shin bone."
Why?
He hated her,
I
apparently.
guess so.
Yes.
That's
He
very
thought-
tragic.
He thought her writing was boring and overly
Uh-huh.
polite. Yes. Basically the polar opposite of what he was doing, because he was a
Okay.
comedian and like digging on everybody.
Yeah.
And she was like
Very proper.
proper and boring
Okay.
AF. But by the way, like full disclosure, I love Jane Austen. I could read Mark Twain. I could read Jane Austen.
That's crazy.
I have no problem. Apparently he hated her.
Huh.
Okay. Well, she was dead already, so he hated her posthumously.
Yes.
I can't say that word. Okay, and finally, do you know there's something called the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor?
Sure didn't.
Okay,
I
yeah.
mean, up until this episode, I didn't really even realize Mark Twain was a humorist.
I know,
So
but isn't that cool?
here we are.
This is why
Yes.
we learn and
Yep.
get cultured and
Yep.
curious. So it was created in 1998 to honor comedians who, of course, like Twain, used humor to reflect on American life. And the very first winner was Richard Pryor, who, when he received the award, said, "I'm really honored for a white man to think that I'm funny." And that is perfect Richard Pryor. For anybody who knows Richard Pryor, I absolutely love it. Basically, a ton of famous comedians have won it since then. And now, most recently, Conan O'Brien just receiving the 2025 award last month.
Oh, wow.
Go Conan!
Congratulations, Conan.
Yeah, that's all I got. Fun facts. Ow!
Oh, I love it. So basically, if I tracked right this episode, Mark Twain was hilarious, but heartbroken, brilliant, but bankrupt, and sometimes just got drunk with Nikola Tesla.
Perfect.
But before we finish this whole Mark Twain trivia tour, I think we need to do our normal wrap up so that way we all have a few takeaways that make us seem sort of sophisticated
I'm on
when
it.
we want to talk about.
Let's go, people.
Mark Twain.
Okay. If you want a deeper dive into Twain's life, the grief, the genius, the jokes, and think you can handle it, I'm going to say, read Ron Chernow's new biography.
I think this needs an asterisk by it. Like, I don't know.
You kind of got a good point. It's a commitment.
It is.
992 pages. I'm saying worth it. Or if that feels intense, okay, fine. Start smaller. Read Huck Finn or The Innocents Abroad. You still get a good sense of style and honesty. And it's just fun to read an author who like calls out society. Like I like that. So I highly suggest. Or just like pick up like a book on all his quotes and get familiar with his quotes. Like we did 5 of them, but there's like 100 of them. Like
There's just lots of quotes.
yes, absolutely. And if you don't do any of it, just remember this. Mark Twain, who was born Samuel Langhorne Clemens, became one of America's most influential writers by using humor and storytelling to explore serious social issues like race, class, and identity. He blended sarcasm and storytelling into razor-sharp critiques that still hit today.
Big time.
Totally. He basically lived 1,000 friggin' lives before becoming a writer, let's be honest, including his work as a printer, a riverboat pilot, a soldier, well, sort of almost, and a prospector, because he was prospecting silver, baby. Experiences that shaped his voice and perspective. His pen name, Mark Twain, came from riverboat terminology, which was slang for safe water, and reflected his roots on the Mississippi River. The good old Mississippi. The Mississippi. Old Miss. The old man.
Having fun over there?
I am. Okay, and finally, Twain's life was full of humor, but also great personal tragedy. Just like mine. Including the deaths of his wife and 3 of his 4 children, which I hope never comes true, which deeply influenced the emotional depth of his later work. All the while, the world just saw him as just a funny guy in a white suit with a kick-ass mustache, Amanda.
And there you have it, dear listeners. A deep dive into the wild, brilliant, and brutally honest world of Mark Twain. From the mischievous charm of Tom Sawyer to the raw, uncomfortable truths in Huckleberry Finn, it's clear Twain wasn't just writing about 19th century America, he was writing about us.
And if we've done our job right today, people, hopefully you're walking away a bit more sophisticated with a sharper Twain IQ. A few quotes to casually drop at dinner, and maybe a better sense of why this guy still matters more than 100 years after he dropped the mic and left on the tail of Halley's Comet. Try this quote at your next dinner party. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see.
Ooh.
Thank you very much, Mark Twain. One of his most quoted lines ever.
I mean, I love that one. Man, I guess he really was awesome. So whether it was questioning hypocrisy or roasting the power of the man or finding humor in heartbreak, Twain reminds us all that wit isn't just for laughs, it's for survival. And his legacy wasn't just his books. It was the way in which he was able to see the world for what it really was and still finding a reason to joke about it. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and pass it along to someone who thinks Twain was just the guy with the white suit and mustache. Or if they didn't know that, definitely pass it on.
Until next time, people, don't worry if you're still trying to make sense of life. Twain once said, the secret of getting ahead is just getting started. So go out there, stay curious,
Good one.
and stay skeptical for Twainer's sake. For Twainer's
Well played.
sake,
Well
let's
played.
go.